Hello guys and welcome back. Now basically we're going to be talking about some more things to do with Zombie Apocalypse. Now I believe last episode I said about unwinding and things like that. While unwinding, it is nice to unwind at times. The one thing you have to remember is during those times where you're relaxing, always stay alert. Because the one thing that leaves you vulnerable is if you're too relaxed, you're not going to be ready for anything, and that's when something could catch you off guard. Who knows what could happen? A grenade could come flying. Well, if a grenade came flying over or something like that, I think you'd probably kind of be dead unless you got kind of really lucky. But people could start firing or anything, and because you're so relaxed, you're not ready to move in time, and that's the issue. So while relaxing, always keep a watchful eye. Now, another thing I'd like to bring up as well is how could I put this? Um, hmm, trying to find the words to use for this. Basically, if you come across someone and you're not too sure whether they can be trusted in your group, and they're kind of new, you just met them, or something like that. One thing I'd do is possibly give them an unloaded gun or something like that. A bit of a safety test. See if they're planning to turn their back on you when you're alone, or something like that. So give them an unloaded weapon. And basically, if it turns out that they end up being good people, for example, then obviously give them some ammo for that weapon. It's always good to be safe. Don't just give a gun to a stranger, because you never know when that stranger's going to turn around and point it at you. So, another thing to do that would be good in a zombie apocalypse is calling people, giving people a bluff. And basically, say for example, someone's got you at gunpoint, or they've got you a weapon or something like that. Maybe try and bluff them or something like that by saying, I don't know, the second you either attack me or the second you shoot me, a sniper's going to hit you right in the back of the head. And don't make any indication to whereabouts that sniper is or whatnot. Don't try and point in any directions. Just say, there's a sniper aiming at the back of your head right now. If you do anything silly, they're going to shoot you. And it could potentially save your life, because they're going to think, ooh. And I'll say, well, so this is two ways it could go. You see, I don't want any trouble here. But there is a sniper aiming at you right now. The second you cause me any harm, he will fire. If you let me go, then basically we'll let you walk free. And it could backfire, but at the same time, if you think about it, a person's got you at gunpoint or whatever, they've got you at their mercy, basically. So it's either risk them killing you anyway, or make a bluff which would cause them to not kill you and you could walk free. I'm not saying this will always work, but it's still an idea, to help you out and stuff like that. It's still a good idea. Now, in terms of night gear, now the problem is batteries and stuff aren't going to be sold in supermarkets. I mean, there'll be batteries with power in them, yes, but you're not always going to have a handy battery around to recharge your torch once it runs out. So you can get some torches out there that are actually shakeable. Shakeable torch, you shake it and the light comes on, and you don't really need batteries and stuff like that to power it. It's basically you shake it, it causes some kind of, I don't know exactly how the mechanism works, but basically it will turn on and stuff, and then you've got yourself a light source and combine weapons together. I mean, think about it. You've got say for example you got a rifle or something. That's all great. That's fine and dandy. But if you could do something like they did in World War II, where they had the bayonets or something, think about how much more handy that would be. Because that way you don't have to waste ammo to take out a zombie. And that also reduces the risk to you being found significantly because you're not firing a loud gunshot, which is going to shout to everyone in the nearby vicinity that you're over there. When moving and stuff like that, I suggest you don't all, like, yes, group up, but don't all, like, be right huddled up together. The main reason for this is if you're all huddled up right next to each other, you're a pretty easy target for an automatic weapon or some other sort, to some kind of explosive device or whatnot to actually set off, and that's it. You're all pretty much a big target in one. Easy kill. So make sure you spread out a bit to make it a lot harder for the enemy to get you. So say one of your friends gets shot, if you spread out a bit, you've all got places to move. You're not all running, tripping over each other trying to get to safety. And you know, that could really help you out in the long run. Now, if you're surrounded by zombies and say there's 3 of you, for example, I suggest you form like a Trinity formation where you have one guy facing front, 2 guys facing to the sides and the back. This way, no matter what angle the zombies come at you from, or the humans, you've got each other's backs. Now that can be very useful, and since we're on the subject about being in a group, whenever possible, do not go anywhere alone. Now, I know that's not always going to be possible, but, you know, the times where it is possible to not go anywhere alone, do it. Make sure you're going at least as a team of 2 or 3 or something, so if going gets tough, you got someone to watch your back. You don't want to go anywhere alone and get yourself trapped, because then you got no one to help you, and then pretty much you're either going to die or you're going to get really badly wounded and barely make out alive. And when you're out on the road or something because you got badly wounded, you weren't able to make it back safe and sound. You know, the group thought you were dead, you didn't show up or something like that, or they got caught up in some other kind of mess or something. That's it, you know, your journey's over. Now, in terms of places to go in the zombie apocalypse, I don't know if there really is any safe bet guaranteed. I mean, sure, you could go live on an island, which is fine and dandy, you know, zombies can't get to you, but the problem is with that is you got to worry about storms and stuff like that with water, you know, also making the place habitable without getting rot and mold and moss, etc., etc., growing in, you know, that's going to be quite problematic, and it's going to be a really big issue because that can lead to sickness and stuff like that. That's why, you know, like, people say, oh, I'll go take over a castle. Now, a castle's all fine and dandy, yes, you got thick concrete walls, but most of the gates aren't still in commission in castles nowadays. They've been removed, or there's no drawbridge or anything like that. And they're not the best places for living, to be perfectly honest. They're really not. They're actually, like, in terms of living conditions, not the best, but in terms of safety, yes, they have a high safety rating. I mean, it's the same for prisons. Like, don't get me wrong, a prison can be nice and safe, assuming that there's no undead inside of it, or there's a way to block them all off and make sure that you're definitely safe. Yes, prison can be nice, but it's quite a gloomy place. You know, you can find in cells. It's not the best homely place. And places like that, morale can drop quite low. And basically, you know, you don't want morale dropping low in your group, because then people aren't going to be as enthusiastic and they're not going to be ready to rally up if the time comes for it. And it's just not the best place to live, you know. Gun stores. Now, in a zombie apocalypse, everyone's going to be going to a gun store, and you're lucky if the gun store clerk doesn't shoot you first. Supermarkets, big no-no in a zombie apocalypse. Everyone's going to be rushing to the supermarket, and it's all good that, yes, there's tons of food there, which is brilliant at the start of a zombie apocalypse. You know, you're going to want food, but the amount of people there is going to be a zombie fest, because that's just a big, massive munch. Bunch of people all grouped up, you know, that's plenty of places for a zombie to go and feed and infest a big population. And also, Think about all the other survivors that are going to go there and fight you for your supplies. Yeah, you've had a successful raid, you got plenty of food, and the second you step outside of the door, oh, someone's there, you know, beating you down and stealing all your stuff. Like, let's go, let's go, let's go, and you get bitten, and that's it. I mean, hospitals, ooh. Everyone in their right mind should know the worst place to go in a zombie apocalypse at the beginning is a hospital, because that's where most of the people who get bit and injured who aren't going to know what's going on are going to go to. That's where the sick are going to go to, and that's going to be a breeding ground for the zombies to come and infect people. They're going to come in and infect people, and then there's more zombies. And being in hospitals, you know, it's quite confined, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the hallways are, yeah, fair enough that they're not the smallest hallways in hospitals and stuff like that, but you know, you got a couple 20 or so coming at you. You're in a hospital. There's not really much for weapons around, you know, and that's it. You know, you're trapped. Yes, you got a way to break open a window and successfully escape, but it's going to be a big issue. And military bases now, I know tons of people are like, oh, I'm going to go to a military base, I'll be safe there, I got the military. Now, it's not like in the movies where the military are dumb and they all die stupidly and stuff like that. Fair enough, it's not going to be like that. But you don't know when they're going to be given the code red. That means any survivors, zombie or not, they're going to open fire on you, and then you're going to be like, why the hell did they go to this place? I'm dying. Also, soldiers' families are also going to go there. And basically, because soldiers' families are going to go there, there's going to be less accommodable spaces for you to go to. And there's going to be a lot less food. That food's going to run out relatively quite quickly, and you know, you could be there, say for sound 1 minute inside of the base, and the next minute they've been given an order, and what do army do? Army follow orders. They follow a chain of command. Command tells them to do something higher up, they do it. And basically the main thing that's going to be on the military's mind is not the safety of the citizens. The main thing that's going to be on their mind is containment of the infection. They're going to want to contain it any way possible. If that means nuking a city, well, nuke a city. I mean, like, probably not nuke, they'll probably carpet bomb it or something like that, but their main concern is going to be containing that infection. So, the army bases aren't the best places to go in the zombie apocalypse, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if you can find one run down that's been, you know, already emptied and stuff like that. I mean, I suppose you could go there and look for supplies, maybe some hospital bedding or something, but I just wouldn't. I wouldn't really take the risk, not unless you have not unless you have like a friend who can smuggle you in, or you definitely know that the army is going to let you in. But still, when the food starts to go low, the army are going to move out, and you're not going to be a priority to them. To be perfectly honest, they're just going to move the soldiers out, and you're going to be left there stranded. And then you're just going to be sat there like, oh, what's the point of me coming here? Other places like town halls, anywhere that's centered around a town, big no, because that place is going to be crawling with infected. You know, people are going to go there and look for answers and stuff, and it's going to be infected all over the place, biting into each other, and stuff like that. People getting infected, people panicking, and basically it's pretty much a surefire way to get yourself killed. If a big swarm of them comes, and you know, it's just one of those issues. I mean, where is a truthfully safe, perfect place to go where you know you're not going to die anytime soon? It is very hard to think of a place like this, because every place has its pros and cons. You can find a doctor. A doctor can be great because he can help you out with medical things, but it's also not great because the doctor knows what he's doing, you don't. For all you know, a doctor could decide to poison a person or anything. You don't know, because you leave the stuff up to them, assuming they're going to save a person's life. You don't know what they could do. They could put in a extra dose of injection which can cause a person to die or anything, because you're going to trust that doctor to heal them. You're not going to see it coming. So, you know, everything has a pro and con in a zombie apocalypse. I mean, nuclear bunkers are quite nice, but limited supplies, not much space. I mean, unless you got like a underground like house down there with plenty of rooms and stuff like that, and plenty of stored food that you've accumulated. I mean, that'd be great. But places, but the government are all going to go underground. The government are going to get all the world leaders safe. They're going to get all the world leaders nice and snug in their bases underground and all whatnot. Basically, we're going to be left to fend for ourselves pretty much, because they see themselves as the important ones. The world can be repopulated. They need important people to keep running the governments and whatnot. So I'm sorry, civilians, but you're not good enough. But some bases, like I can't remember the location. I believe it is. Oh, we'll take plenty of artwork. You know, bring plenty of priceless artifacts, plenty of artwork and stuff. We'll let all that in. But people, no, screw you. Not allowed in there. And you know, it is quite disgusting. But like I said, in a zombie apocalypse, it's going to be a dog world. You know, people are going to be survival of the fittest. I'm surviving. You're not. Don't like it, that's tough. You know, that's the way a lot of people are going to think of the zombie apocalypse, and sadly that's the way the government are going to think too. I mean, you could get the odd government which does allow civilians and stuff, but it's just, I highly doubt it, to be perfectly honest. I highly doubt that's going to be the case. Yeah, what else in terms of topics could we bring up? Oh yeah, practical jokes and pranks on people. Now, I seriously do not advise this in a zombie apocalypse. You know, in a zombie apocalypse, people are going to be on edge. They're going to be expecting that zombies to come out of nowhere to take it out. If you're trying to pull a zombie prank on them, or, you know, try and make a person jump, you know, that could get you killed. Because they might jump and react. Not stopping to think. They've been made jump and they're going to react. And that's it. You're dead. So, what you thought would be a funny thing to do isn't actually a funny thing to do. It's actually a very bad thing in a zombie apocalypse, and that's sadly the truthfulness of the matter. And if you can hear some crazy woman downstairs, that'll be my mum. We call her crazy lady because she just talk weird to the animals. When again, everyone does, you know. But you know, I don't mean it offensively. It's just a joke. Just a joke, you know. She calls me names. You know, we just have a laugh and stuff like that. Me and mum are like best friends. But that's another thing. In a zombie apocalypse, you know, family's going to be important to you, and you're going to want to rescue every family member you can, and you're going to want to go and get them. You know, get all your family together. But the problem is, your family, I'm sorry to say this, but your family is going to relocate. If you're out of town, you're in a different town, you have no way of contacting them, they're going to relocate. Your chances of finding that family member are slim to none. You don't know where the hell they could be, whether they're dead or not. You could waste your time and get yourself killed. Now, I'm not saying abandon your family members. Do not take it as I'm saying that. But sometimes you got to think about it. Your family is, say, I don't know, 10 hours away in a drive, or 3 hours away or something like that. Zombie pandemics happened. And say, for example, you have no way to get hold of them, no way to phone them or something, they've gone. You're probably most likely not going to find them again. Not unless they gave you some kind of inkling or left a note or something. Pardon me. So, you know, you can basically decide what you want to do, but truth of the matter is, most likely you're not going to find them, and that's the sadness of the reality there. I mean, I know it'd be horrible to lose your family, you know, a family, you know, the close to your heart, but you know, sometimes you just won't have a choice but to not be able to find them, you know, and you know, if your family member becomes bit and stuff, people are gonna be like, oh, we have to kill them and stuff, and you could get defensive and get yourself killed. And you know, if a person's infected, in my opinion, like I said in one of my previous episodes, you know, try and isolate the person away from the group where people are safe, but don't make them feel like animals or anything like that. Don't lock them in cages and stuff, you know, stay moral and stuff like that. Basically, you know, proper take care of those that have been infected until the passing moment, and then when they pass away, stab them in the head. Um, Now, another topic I'd like to bring up is this Zombie Apocalypse Survival Guide is mainly to do with basically walking zombies. You know, the movie, the normal movie, the way it used to be. You know, the Walking Dead, the Undead, the Walk. It's not really for running zombies, but a lot of this stuff still applies to running zombies, and I will do some stuff to do with running stuff. Don't worry, I will get round to that. It's just the videos I'm doing originally are mainly to do with walkers, but there'll be also to be somewhat will have to do with runners. Now, if you have a bunch of zombies inside of a vehicle, I don't know, a bus for example, and you know there's a big group of them trapped inside of the bus. You know, letting them all out at once could be a bit too much to handle. If you have friends with you, I suggest you let them out one at a time. You know, let one out, shut the door quickly, take that one out, and then rinse and repeat, because the less zombies you have coming at you, the easier it is to take them out. But then again, at the same time, it's going to be a lot harder to hold them in the bus, because, you know, there's going to be a lot of them trying to get out that door. So if you can if you have more than one person, then get them to help out. Like, seriously, get them to help out, because you're gonna want as much help as you can get to make sure you survive. You know, band together, group up, stay together. You know, like that. That's one of the things you got to do in a zombie apocalypse. I mean, you can go on your own. Benefits of being on your own is you only have to look out for yourself, but there's a lot of disadvantages to being on your own. That means you have to do all the work when creating a base. That means if you ever get in trouble, no one's there to help you. That means basically if there's ever a bunch of survivors and they spot you, you're on your own and you've got no way to defend yourselves if they decide to attack. So, you know, I suggest grouping up, but don't make the group too large to a point where you know you will not be able to supply everyone in the group. In terms of children and stuff like that, you know, if you have children and a zombie apocalypse happens and you got children and stuff, children will if you're running low on food, children will I recommend giving more of a portion to the children. Now, I know some people in the group will see that as unfair, but the thing is, children tire. Well, they don't really tire a lot easily, some of them, but children need looking after. You know, it's like a homeless person. When a homeless person's sat on the street and he's got his dog with him, he always makes sure the dog's more well fed than he is, because that's his companion. You know, that's his best friend. That's the only thing he's got in the world. And family to you, like, yes, you've got the group, but family is going to be the most important thing to you in a zombie apocalypse in terms of value, in the sense of feelings. Like, you know, you're going to put the kids first, and I suggest you always do that. Kids should come first. I mean, I know kids aren't going to be the best for being able to defend themselves, but, you know, teach them in a safe manner where it's not going to become a hazard. And basically, I just be careful what kind of kids you teach, because, you know, if you get a kid with ADHD or something like that, you know, they tend to misbehave and stuff, and if they ever get angry, you know, if you've given them a gun, you never know when they might pull that gun out and, you know, not meaning to, just in a rage, and they might accidentally fire or something like that. So I wouldn't recommend giving the kid a gun, but I'd give the kid something in terms of a way to defend himself. That maybe a bow or something like that would be much better. Because at least with a bow, he has to at least draw it back to be able to actually fire at you, so you have time to basically, you know, stop him. So I wouldn't recommend giving guns to kids. I mean, if your kids can be trusted with a firearm, then by all means go ahead. But if you can't be trusted with firearm, I recommend giving them something like a bow and teaching them how to use it or something. At least something that will take a bit of time to prop before they can cause a hazard to you. But also don't forget to give them a melee weapon to defend themselves. I mean, fair enough, a kid isn't going to be able to do much to an adult zombie without you knocking the zombie down or something like that. But the thing is, in a zombie apocalypse, there's going to be other children zombies out there, you know. So they can defend themselves against those a lot easier than just having nothing to help them if they ever get in close quarter and personal situations. I think I'm going to possibly end it here because I have been recording for quite a while. And as much as I would love to keep going on, I've got plenty to talk about. The rest of the stuff will be for another day. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Please like, favourite, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you like my channel. Helps get me out there. Peace.